Hey guys, we're back. And what's today's date?
The 12th.
So this is technically only our 10th horror movie because we skipped one day and one of the days we watched Lord of the Rings.
You've been doing pretty good.
Yeah, last year I didn't skip a single day. I like stressed myself out watching a movie every day.
But you also
Why
didn't have a
working?
baby last year either.
Yeah, we have a newborn. It's been very hard to do videos. All right, so today we watched the 2017 Day of the Dead Bloodline. I recently found out that Day of the Dead came out this year.
2018.
The original Day of the Dead, which was a sequel, Dawn of the Dead, came out in 1985. This is a very, very loose remake of that. And there's another Day of the Dead that came out this year, 2021, which I really want to see. It's Day of the Dead. It says it's rated R for graphics and nudity, but there's like no nudity in it, so don't worry about that. If you have kids, it's a little bit of harsh language. If you do. Short synopsis of this movie. Timeline's whack because it opens up with a girl running on the streets, then goes 4 hours backwards in time, right? And as we go 4 hours backwards in time, we see how it started with the swine flu.
H1N1.
There's a zombie who gets bit who has like super strong antibodies, but he's also a super big creep. He's a stalker. He carves this girl's name into his arm, even though she hates him.
Straight up a rapist.
And he tries to rape her at least once and maybe murder her. He gets bit. That's when the whole zombie thing starts. And instead of going back to 4 hours later, it jumps 5 years in the future. She's now living on a military base with some other civilians and some military personnel. There's a tension in between the military and the civilians, even though it's only really just one guy who has a problem, not all of the military people. Whatever. Blah, blah, blah. Come to find out, the guy who got bit, who's a stalker and the major antibodies, is only half zombie. And he's like super smart because he has normal people intelligence instead of zombie intelligence.
He's got some like rare antibodies or the virus doesn't affect him.
It only affects parts of him.
But his brain is still human.
And he sneaks on the base and he starts killing people. Blah, blah, blah. Trying to get the girl because he remembers her 5 years later, even though he was dead, but not dead. He hasn't been eating. I don't know. It doesn't make sense because the whole thing is like they're going to try to find a cure. She's a scientist, doctor thing. And
She's an epidemiologist.
And they find out, I guess she finds out somehow, that his blood kills the zombie virus. Even though if he bites someone, they turn into a zombie. So, don't ask me how that makes sense. Because he's also literally bleeding out of his mouth. So, I don't. But the cure is to inject his blood into someone, which would happen when he bit you. You see what I'm saying? I don't understand. It doesn't make sense. But they find the cure. Everyone's saved after chaos. The end. All right. That's the whole movie. I just saved you
An hour and 30 minutes.
an hour and 30 minutes and a lot of bad acting. Was this movie good, Hallie?
No.
It was
No.
not. was not a good movie, which
I've got
upsets
like a
me.
top. Now it's a new top 3, I guess, going on of terrible movies. This is in it.
This is in your top 3?
Into the Earth and 12-Hour Shift.
Oh, you mean for this Halloween season?
Mm-hmm.
I can say overall, I've seen worse movies than this. I mean,
Oh yeah.
it's worth a watch if you're a fan of the Dead grouping. If you like zombies, the makeup's really cool. Special effects are really bad. The makeup's really cool though. That's the only good thing I have to say. Was it horror-tastic? Yes, I think this movie would give small children nightmares because the makeup, again, is very good. I can see a 5 or 6-year-old dreaming about this makeup,
Yeah.
thinking about the zombies are gonna kill him.
5 out of 5 for the makeup artists. They really.
Everything else was garbage. What was wrong about it? Let's see. The writing was terrible, which said Romero was supposed to be a writer on this. I don't think he was. I don't think he was a director either.
He wasn't the
No,
director.
Hector Hernandez Vincents. No. Oh, it says he's a writer only because it's based on the motion picture Day of the Dead by George A. Romero. Yeah, clearly he was not a writer on this. The writing is bad. The directing's bad. The acting is bad. There's overacting and there's underacting. Like, you literally get both within the first 10 minutes. You get both versions of terrible acting. Because you have the one guy who is, don't you worry, we are going to the party. Here is some kegs in the morgue. You remember that guy? He's like one of the first people to die.
Terrible.
And then you have everyone else who has like the one line, they're like, "Oh my god, I cannot believe it."
It was awful.
It's so bad. Everyone is going crazy with their drinks at the party. Like, oh, this is how drunk people act. Like, clearly they've, one, never been to a party, and 2, never had a drink or been around a group of people drinking. Like, they just took a bunch of people who've only watched TV by themselves, not even with a group of people, and put them all in the room together and said, now act like you're in a party.
Yeah, because first of all, they had everyone dancing with the lights on, like all of the
Completely
lights
on. No one's dancing
The
together.
vibe was not partyish at all.
No one is synced up to the beats in any way, not even like a crazy way. The people that are talking aren't making sense. I don't know. It was ridiculous. That was a crazy party. In a bad way.
That party was crazy.
It was lame. So yeah, everything. The plot was terrible. It was cheese-tastic. Too many holes in everything. And for some reason, after she comes back, or when we go the 5 years later, she's like running every morning to stay in shape, I guess. But she's like running along a fence line, just letting zombies like scream at her the whole time. Like, why?
Almost scrape her with her fingernails and
Yeah,
shit.
why would you do that?
With her hair swinging.
Why is this happening? There's a lot more that I can nitpick. But I'm not gonna. Favorite character?
This is gonna sound bad, but I think the character that acted the best was the villain, Max.
The bad guy?
Yeah,
The creep? That was the only scary part in this whole movie. to
yeah,
me.
it was him.
Like, I was scared for her. I was like, she's gonna get raped. Like, that girl's gonna get raped. That's
Like,
it.
I don't condone that.
A couple
at all.
times. There was a couple times where it was like this. Like, even at one point, the zombie version of him gets her, and I'm like, oh, this zombie's gonna rape her. Like, she's gonna get raped by a zombie.
You know what vibes he gave me?
Huh.
That terrible character from X-Files that likes hair.
Oh, the
That's
hey girly
Yeah,
girl. That guy? Yeah.
Those are the vibes he gave me.
Yeah. He plays a good rapist. I'm pretty sure he might be one. Jonathan Shkashish, you might be a rapist, dude. Just saying. Everyone watch out for him. Yeah, I think he did the best acting with the least amount of lines. I did not like his visual acting, though. like his facial expressions or the way he stands. Like, did you see him standing there all tied up? Like he kept like doing like weird things with his body that I'm like, dude, you're supposed to be a zombie. And even if you're not a zombie, like you're supposed to be half a zombie. What are you
He
doing?
didn't have like those limp zombie movements.
I don't know, it was strange. Second best actress is Zoe, but they kept calling her Zoe. I thought Zoe had a Y in it. I thought Zoe was Z-O-E. Z-O-E. I thought Zoe was Z-O-E-Y. I don't know. Whatever. Zoe. She would go from being really bad acting to being okay to back to really bad to having the worst voiceovers. Like she's clearly just reading a piece of paper. Like May 16th, 2020. Like she has to think about everything she's reading off this piece of paper while she's saying it into this microphone. Forget about it. The worst. Favorite scene? Favorite.
Oh god, I don't even think I have one because I really did enjoy this movie.
You didn't like any of the scenes? I didn't. There were some scenes I didn't hate. Like I didn't hate when they went back into the town to the medicine hospital.
Hospital.
I guess it was a hospital, the place where all the medicine was. I liked all the zombies in there. That's when I first noticed how good the makeup was. That's like halfway through the movie. Hated the party. I like this street, like the very opening scene where like we're just looking at the street before we meet our main character. That was all pretty cheesy too, but it was still fun. It was like a fun environment, fun like the world's ending environment, you know.
Maybe I like the part where like she's trying to let only a couple zombies in,
That was dumb.
but then the gate breaks. They couldn't hold.
They have
the
a
gate
chain
in.
link gate, right? They don't have to let one zombie in at a time. She needs samples from at least two, I guess, for science. So they let one in. They do their thing. They, they let one in. They chain it back shut. The zombie comes in. She's like, "All right, I need one more." They unlock the gate, unchain the fence, let one more zombie in, and then hold it on the last zombie. She's like, "Okay, that's it. That's all I need." And they just hold it. Like, why did you not lock it back up like you did the first time? And then like, oh my god, they're breaking through, and then they broke through.
Stupid.
I don't know. That was something. Fun facts. So not a whole lot of fun facts. Honestly. Let me go back. Crap. There's only like one real fun fact, so there's this sad fact where it was released 6 months after Romero's death, who did the original. That was sad. That made me sad. And then there's this one right here. Although a considered loose remake of Day of the Dead, there are some noted similarities. A group of soldiers and civilians hole up in a bunker to protect themselves from the undead. The soldiers are openly hostile to the civilians. There's only one hostile soldier in this one, who are looking for a cure for the zombie plague. There's only one person looking for a cure. There is a zombie with above average intelligence. I wouldn't call it above average. And the ranking officer is disemboweled by the zombies. Yes, that happens. Sure.
Did you see the part where Zoe killed Max? She like came up out of the dirt in the garden.
No, I was doing his babas. He told me about them. And then, let's see, there's two goofs. There is about 15 minutes in, Zoe pulls on a white sleeve. Oh, yeah. At one point, she puts on a white shirt, and then comes out in a blue shirt. That was strange. Near the end of the movie, Baca. There's a dude named Baca, and he's the love interest. B-A-C-A.
Baca. That's a
Baca.
terrible name.
Baca. Near the end of the movie, Baca's about to shoot himself to not turn into a zombie. The sidearm was using stop a wave of zombies turns out to be a 6mm BB gun. Haha. Also, they could put in here that for almost everyone else, they turn almost instantly into a zombie after they got bit. Baka got bit twice, and it took him like 6 hours before, or 8 hours or something before he got turned. Like, she was able to come back from rescuing a child, stop him from shooting himself, lay him down into a bed, make an antidote, and inject him with it. Let's see. Trivia. Was released 6 months following death. Nope. Never said that. A decade prior, Jonathan, the rapist guy, appeared in 2 horror remakes, Prom Night and Quarantine. So he's been in 2 other movies since before this. One of the soldiers in the film is called Savin, a possible nod to Tom Skeveney. And special makeup artist on Dawn of the Dead and Day of the Dead. They called all the zombies rotters for some reason. And lastly, crazy edits. The logo for the production company CGF is a slight alteration of the classic video game Deus Ex. That game was supposed to be super fun. I never played it, but it's supposed to be super awesome. I think they made 2 of them. All right, 1 through 5. Let's go. Give it a rating. 2. I was gonna give it 3, but thinking about it more, I might give it a 2. So it's 4. 4 out of 10. It's not great odds. It's 2/5.
Don't watch it. Watch the original.
I say only watch it if you're a fan of the Dead series. You know, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, so on and so forth.
I'm pretty sure they've done that theme at Halloween Horror Nights, haven't they? Dawn of the Dead.
Probably. But I would only watch it to make fun of this one, not to get a classic of the Dead story. Okay? Thanks, you guys. Love you guys. Peace out. Got it. Shh. You're okay, baby boy. You got it. Bye.